Greetings, and salutations. I'm Tiara Jackson, visionary of Kingsskid, which has a mission to educate individuals on how God creates, covers, carries, and crowns us. Personal, professional, and mentee development. Today, I'm super excited, super excited about our special guest because she's going to talk about her journey into wellness. And as we know, you can be out here securing the bags, but if you're not healthy enough, the bags might bury you. Let's just be honest. So, we have Reese, who's going to talk to us about her journey into wellness, and she's going to provide practical strategies. Welcome, Reese.
Hey, I'm excited.
I'm super excited to have you. Okay, so Valette, her name is Valette, but she go by Reese. We call her Reese. A 29-year-old single mother working to create generational wealth for her and her daughter. She's currently an area manager at Walmart Distribution Center in Desoto, Texas. She's in the midst of opening 2 businesses that goes back to the generational wealth she's talking about, and look forward to what the future has. Her favorite quote is, "To learn from your mistakes is to be smart. To learn from others' mistakes is to be wise." So let's use that wisdom today. So I want to talk about what led you to start your journey into wellness.
Okay, so I'm glad you want to start there. There was a number of things. So as you know, me and Tiedra went to school together at Falkland College. Hey, shout out, PQC. And while I was there, I was pretty heavy. And upon graduating college, the weight just kept stacking on and piling on. And before I knew it, I was 230 pounds. I am 5'1". I was extremely overweight. And so, one thing happened. I ended up having a miscarriage. So I was pregnant by my boyfriend at the time, ended up having a miscarriage. And one of the things the doctors told me was, hey, your weight is a factor in this. You might want to look into losing weight. I couldn't go on a patch because of how heavy I was. And that's what I wanted to do other than the pill. And so that was an eye-opener for me. And the second thing was I went home after having the miscarriage, and my dad, he suffers from some illnesses, right? And he listens to me and goes, look, I'm going to just be honest with you. This is going to be you if you don't make changes today. And, for my dad to speak up and say anything meant a lot. He doesn't really speak up about much. He sort of kind of just let you live your life, like, hey, go on, whatever happens. But for him to say that was like an eye-opener for me. So I ditched a boyfriend. I got exposed to Herbalife. That's how I did it. I did it through Herbalife. Really doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as you start, right? And so I started taking the shakes. I started eating better. And before I knew it, the weight was just shedding off. I mean, I was going from 230 to 200 to 180 and finally got down to 160 pounds. And I felt absolutely amazing. So that's what triggered my weight loss. And that's what's triggering my weight loss now after having my daughter is wanting to be healthy for her.
So you tapped on this a little bit, and this was actually one of my questions. What are the ramifications of not taking your health seriously or not really incorporating wellness into your daily life?
Right. So like I told you, for women, I didn't know that. Your weight plays a huge factor in you actually having children, and having a successful pregnancy. I didn't know that until that happened, right?
I didn't know that either.
Man, and it's crazy how many people suffer from that. If they would just lose the weight, their pregnancy would be so much better. And, nothing against anybody that's overweight, but that's the reality that we live in, you're going to be putting on more weight. You're going to be supplying this baby with everything you have. And so why not make sure you're supplying with something healthy, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's one thing. Sluggish. So when I had Kinsey, my daughter, I had got off my program. And when I say the weight just packed back on, it sure enough did. And I noticed that I was always tired. It sucks to be tired. And then to have a baby that needs you every second of the day and be tired. Oh my goodness, I was miserable. And so I ended up actually having postpartum depression because of that. All because I was just so tired, right? And so you get really sluggish. Even before then, you don't know what it's like to feel good until you feel good, right? And so when I started losing the weight, just the feeling of, whew, even now I'm losing the weight again. And it's like, whoo, I can actually do more. I feel better. I can breathe better. I can move more, you know? And so that's another thing. And then your mood, like just your whole mood. I notice when I gain weight, I get really irritable. And it's because, again, I'm tired. I don't like the feeling. I feel heavy. But once the weight starts coming off, it's like my mood increases. I'm willing to smile more. I'm willing to motivate. I'm willing to inspire. But when I'm not my best, I'm angry at you. I'm coming at you and I'm attacking you all because I don't feel good about myself, you know? And that goes with confidence, self-esteem. All of that can increase just from you taking care of yourself.
Wow. I didn't know. I didn't know that, because typically you're always a very happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah.
So that's the part. It's almost like if you were not happy, it was like, yeah, she just had a really bad day. It wasn't. We would have never contributed that to being, she's not confident in the body that she has. We would not have contributed that. So my next question.
It's funny you say that. A lot of people go, you're so confident, you're so this, and I really wasn't. I was heavy, and I was the heaviest person, like even for a line. You know, my line sister, she's fit. She was like the dancer, and here my little chunky self is like, ooh, ooh, you know, like I was just heavy, and nobody ever would think that. It was all because I just didn't feel comfortable or confident in who I was.
And then with you having a child, sometimes that can trigger down to how we treat our children. And then, as we spoke about in the bio, generational. So it's a generation. We've kicked off this generation of potentially our kids not really believing in themselves, because it started with the fact that we just wouldn't make decisions.
Exactly. Like now I'm working on losing the weight, and I notice like now I really try to make a conscious decision to let Kenzie see me work out. I make a conscious decision to like get dressed, because I want her to feel so confident about herself and so secure in who she is, all because she saw that reflected in me, you know? And children don't do what you say, they do what you do. And so I know that. And I make it a point that, okay, if I want her to be confident, I have to be confident. If I want her to be smart, I got to show her I'm smart, you know? And so I just make those little decisions every day because I want her to be the best version of herself that she can be.
And that's important, because then we have a generation of people that are confident in their skills and their gifts, and we're able to advance the world and
Exactly.
take over the world.
Exactly.
So when you look at wellness, it's the getting fit part, and then it's the eating part of it. So for the getting fit, what are some, because some people may be like, I don't have time for that. Like, I don't have time to go to a gym. I don't have time to sit and do this. And that used to be my excuse too, until till quarantine happened. It's like, well, you got time, sis. You got all the time. So what's some advice or even some strategies for people that may feel like that they don't have time?
The first thing I want to say is make time. You are the most important thing in your life, right? And only you can control how healthy you are, how well you are, right? And so the biggest thing is it just takes 30 minutes out of your day to really get the physical part done, right? But the other part, like you said, where I started just eating a lot better. And so something my coach told me when I first started was, when you wake up in the morning, in the first 30 minutes, put something on your belly, because you need to break the fast from last night. That's what breakfast stands for, break the fast. And so I took that to heart. As soon as I wake up, whether it was apple or orange, oatmeal, it didn't matter, a boiled egg, I didn't care. As long as I put something in my body within the first 30 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then they also told me every 3 hours, if you are hungry, every 3 hours, you need to be eating something. So I had my breakfast. 3 hours later, I would have a snack, a healthy snack.
What's considered a healthy snack? Because I snack, but my snacks be like chips, dip.
Right.
Like, my snacks are like nothing healthy. You will not catch me with a granola bar. Like, I'm not eating it. But I will eat fruit.
So your snacks are actually what 1/3 of the population eats. So 1/3 of the population, well, for America, is considered overweight or obese, right? And so a lot of people will lean towards the chips and dip. They'll lean towards the stuff that's quick. But there's also some quick, healthy meals that you can eat as long as it has protein and fiber. So for me, when I first started, like I went hardcore because I was 230 pounds. I didn't have anything to lose but weight. So I was like, all right, protein, fiber. So one day I'll have a tuna packet with an apple. Like that's what I would eat. Or even string cheese wrapped in a piece of meat. This is when I ate meat. I don't eat meat anymore, but to each his own. And anything that just had protein and fiber, orange with some yogurt, those are some things that I would eat as a snack. So it's not to make you feel heavy. It's really just to provide nourishment for your body to add fuel, right? So you continue burning. And so those are the things that you have to get in your mind is like, I'm not eating 3 bags of chips because I want to get so full and then I'm sluggish afterwards. No, you want to give your body energy and fuel. So I would eat an apple and then a tuna packet and be good, And I knew lunch was coming up, so I would eat a heavy lunch. And for me, that was like chicken with some rice and some veggies on the side, but I would have half my plate veggies, a third rice, a third chicken, So that's how you want to have half your plate be vegetables.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that was when you was eating meat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what does your plate look like now that you don't eat meat?
So it changes. I still do eat seafood, but probably like
Okay.
twice a week. So for me, what my lunch normally looks like is a really big salad with like some black beans or some lentils on top to provide protein. And then Herbalife has this product called Beverage Mix. It's just a protein substitute. I would take that and drink that on the side because you want to make sure you're getting enough protein in your body because a lot of people get that misconception that, I'm eating vegetables, I'm healthy, but you can become protein deficient. And so I just make sure I hit my protein numbers in different ways and I eat lots of food that have protein so that way I'm not missing or lacking anything.
Okay, so you want to make sure you're giving your body fuel and energy. Number one, not depriving your body of fuel and energy.
Yes.
Okay, so that explains why I'm eating chips at 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired. Okay.
Exactly. That's no nutrition. Your body's using that just to get full and you're not feeling anything. But if you were to trade that bag of chips in for like an orange and a yogurt, you would for real immediately notice the difference.
Okay. I'm gonna actually try that because I like even during quarantine, yes, I had like fruit and vegetables and things like that, but chips are my thing. Like I'm a snacker, I don't want to eat. I just want to snack. That's me. I'm a snacker. So I think this is good because it helps put things into perspective. Like you want to make sure as long as it's something where your body has that energy and that fuel, and you want to make sure you get that protein. So protein, what does protein does for your body?
So it helps to build muscle in order to burn fat. That's what it's going to do for you. So a lot of people think, I'm consuming all this protein, I'm going to bulk up and be like a man. And it's like, no, the more fat you burn, the more muscle you're going to see, And something I could provide to you is a before and after of me. Like a lot of people saw my transition and losing the weight. And I kid you not, I didn't look like a man. I looked really good. Body was nice. Skin was glowing, And it's all because I took that piece seriously. I blocked out the noise. Like a lot of people say, don't do this, don't do that. And it was like, no, I'm going to do it to show you that it works, Mm-hmm. And so protein is going to help fuel your body. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to help you feel fuller. And it's going to help to build muscle in order to burn fat.
Girl, give us a lesson. I need to go get me some protein. Make my shoulders look better or something.
Hey, I got you. Hey, it's funny you say that because there is a such thing as skinny fat. So something we should do at the Healthy Spot is do like a body scan of people. And it was funny because, it's funny because a lot of people who were skinny, they had a lot more body fat, right? And so something we focused on was helping them to put on more muscle. So that way, they could gain the weight and be a lot more healthier than what they were. And it helped to burn the fat.
Yeah, because it is definitely a misconception that people that are skinny, that are like people that are skinny are more healthier, and people that are skinnier are more flexible. So the healthier piece is I dated a guy. He was very skinny, but he had high blood pressure and he was hitting
Mm-hmm.
just on 30.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started yoga to start getting active again. And your girl is not as flexible as she thought. Like I be
Right.
hurting. So I thank you for bringing that up because I'm like, here I am. I thought just because I was small, I could do it, and my legs about to fall from underneath me. So
For sure. For sure. And I'm glad you brought up the active part. So, you know, we talk about eating healthy, which is good, right? But you also want to get active. And so I know a lot of people, especially a lot of people who are heavier, that's probably the biggest struggle they have is like, man, I don't want to work out. And so, and that was my biggest hang up. I was 230 pounds. Like, I don't want to carry this big old body nowhere. So, something my coach told me, he said, hey, do you think you can walk 15 minutes from your front door? I was like, yeah, I could do that. 15 minutes from my front door. Yeah, I'm not that lazy. And he was like, okay, well, do 15 minutes from your front door and walk 15 minutes back. That's 30 minutes. He said, do it 3 times a week. I was like, that's it. He was like, hey. And so, again, going back to time, I was working a full-time job. I had this full-time boyfriend at the time. And it was just like, man, when do I make time? Like, he expected dinner to be cooked and we hang out when I get home. Yeah, girl, I was in it. And so, it was like, when do I make time to do this? So I got smart. I said my lunch break is an hour. I had a 60-minute lunch break. So for 30 minutes, I would eat. And then as soon as the 30 minutes was up, I would go walk for 15 minutes and then walk back to my desk after that.
and
And
that's
each
your
day,
time.
yeah, and that was it.
And I think that's important because you incorporate it within your schedule, wherever
Mhm.
it fits within your schedule. One thing I saw when I was working in the office was a lot of the executive leaders, they would have the standing desk with the wireless headset and walk back and forth on their calls. They'll walk back and forth on their calls. And the company made it this big step challenge thing to where whoever get the most steps wins some prize or something. But you have to be intentional about where you put the time in. Like I know for me, I can work out after work because that means I'm gonna have to twist up my natural, and then I'm not doing all that. So I needed
Right.
to do it before. I needed to
Mm-hmm.
do before I get my day started. And what does that look like for you? Like walking, I love walking. So we got a little treadmill. I'll get on the bike. I do the bike and then yoga. But I've noticed that yoga has been so much more calming and relaxing. As soon as I finish that yoga session, I'm ready to go into my devotional and my mind is clear and I'm not falling asleep doing my prayers.
Right. For sure, because you're up.
Yeah, you're up, your body is awake and your body is up. So I think finding the best thing or the best method of working out that works for you. Like you say, you did 30 minutes. 30 minutes and it was your lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
And you can account for that. Yeah, and
Yes.
you can account for that. I think so many times we have these excuses, but we can't even account for the time that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also problematic. So you also said you have a little baby girl,
Yes.
and with her watching you, like where is she at when you're working out? What is she doing?
Okay, so it's like you said, you got to find that balance and account for your
Mm-hmm.
time, right? So let me backtrack. I told you I had postpartum depression, right?
Right.
And so with that, I gained a lot of weight. Uh, I was miserable. Like I just couldn't get out of it. And I thought back and I was like, hey, working out makes you feel good. But this time around, it did not feel good. It was like, oh, I'm just trying to do it because I know I need to. And so I'm thankful to the Lord for my baby daddy. He is awesome. We co-parent together very well. And so at first, I would work out when she wasn't home. That's what I was doing at first. Like when he would get her, whenever I got up, I would just work out, right? Because I miss my daughter. I was like, oh, I'm sad. Let me go work out. And then I got into that mentality like she's watching you. and you're not showing her anything of you. Like when we're here, you're just playing around with her, y'all are lounging. You're not really giving her any insight into your world. And so recently, and this is for the single parents out there who don't have a good co-parent to deal with, right? So recently, I just had a few options for myself, and I had grace with myself and patience with myself. And so that's one big thing that you need to exercise. Every day will not look the same, especially with a little one in the house. And so some days, sorry, that's my alarm. And so some days, I get up at 5 a.m. I do get up early. I get up really early. My daughter goes to bed really late, but I make it a point to get up at 5 a.m. and I work out. That's some days. Other days when she's up and, you know, we had a late night, she didn't want to go to bed till like 2, 3 in the morning. So what it is I cook her breakfast. We sit down and eat. And what it is, I give myself an hour. After I make sure she's good, I turn the TV on, I put a tablet on. She has an hour to herself, and I'm in the living room with her, and I do my workout. 9 times out of 10, she's gonna crawl between my legs or hop on top of me when I'm doing some sit-ups, but I'm okay with it. It's like, okay, this sit-up might be a half sit-up instead of a full one, you know? But she's starting to see that, and like I noticed the other day, she started doing squats with me. I'm like, oh, check you out, you're paying attention. Or she lifts up the 5-pound weights while I'm working out. Like, I'm starting to realize she's really strong. So I'm about to start putting tins out to see if she can lift them up. So
She's gonna be stocking them in school, boy.
Hey,
a quick lefty.
That's a strong little woman right there. And so she's usually like right there with me when I'm working out as of late. And so, I mean, a lot of parents can do it too. I remember when I saw Rebecca, when she had her baby, the baby was in the car seat and we would go do a quick little treadmill workout while he was in the car seat, you know? It's just all about making it important and making that sacrifice to say like, hey, I know this child is important, but I have to be good too in order to make sure they're good. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, Kenzie's like usually right in my face, running around, tripping me up. And it helps you stay focused because it's like I'm doing this workout and sometimes you get irritated because they're around, but other times you're like, oh, okay, I got to pay attention because I might kick this child if I step back, and it helps you to be more intentional about your workout.
Okay, and I think the one of the most important things you said was to give yourself grace. Like give yourself grace throughout the process because every day does not look the same. I mean, it's me, Ed, and the dog come up and be like, what's up? Like I was doing yoga this morning and he literally sat on my lap, a 75-pound dog. And I'm just like, first of all, you're not a baby and you are not a lap dog. Like you are a dog. So I think that that's important too. And one thing that I did, because I think culture kind of put it in our head to where, oh, you have to work out 24/7. And the one way I learned to give myself grace is like, my goal is 2 to 3 times a week. If I hit that 2 or that 3, I'm cool with that. But it's 2 to 3 times. It's 7 days. You got 7 tries to get it right. And if you don't, okay, you know, you can always start over, but giving yourself grace is so important because based off of social media, based off us comparing ourselves to others, us feeling like everything has to be perfect or we have to be this certain schedule or meet this certain schedule, we'll be like, well, it didn't go the way I wanted to go. Oh, well, it doesn't count, but it does. A half takes just as much effort as a whole.
So on that, so there is an app I use called Nike Training Club. Okay. I recommend this for anybody, okay? You can get premium, you get the free version, it doesn't really matter. And on there, they have 7-minute workouts, 6-minute workouts, hour workouts, and they have different levels. And so, say for instance, like today, I've been at work since almost 5:30 this morning. I got off at 6. And so it's one of those days where I know I'm tired. So I'm going to, after this, I'm going to get up, look up about a 20 to 30-minute workout and do it. And it's like you said, like, for me, I have a goal of working out 3 to 4 days a week. And last week I hit it with hitting 5. So I was like, oh, you know, but this week ain't looking too good already. But it's like, I know I have my 3 to 4 days and it's just being conscious of, okay, like today, I know when I get off here, all I'm going to do is lounge around for about an hour or two. I might as well use 30 minutes of that hour or two to go ahead and knock a workout out. Even if it's 20 minutes, I still did it. Okay. You know? So just making those conscious decisions, like instead of sitting on this couch and watching this TV show, I could turn the TV show on and do a Nike Training Club workout while watching it.
Okay. And we'll put I'll put that link to the Nike Training Club at the bottom of your video so people could just go straight to it. So
awesome.
I have two more questions actually. So the next question I have for you is, what does living a crowned life mean to you?
So to me, I had to answer all like ready and prepared. No, seriously. And then last night I watched Black is King, right? By Beyonce. I watched it on Disney Plus. And it's crazy the amount of backlash that movie has gotten, you know? Oh, it's demonic, it's this, it's that, it's that. And what I saw it for was like, she's just speaking her truth, you know? Like, this is how she feels. This is how she feels about what's going on in the world. And this is how she feels about, you know, just Black culture, you know? And it just spoke a lot of volume to me because I believe the same thing, like, living a crown life is like being the best version of yourself, you know? And a lot of people may not like that version, you know? Like for me, when I started losing the weight, a lot of people did not like the positive Reese, oh, I'm on Herbalife. You know, a lot of people didn't like it. Oh, you're losing too much weight. Oh, why are you doing that? It's bad for you. You know, I heard so much, but never, you know, but very rare was it, Reese, you look good. Great job. You know? And so I related so much to that because it's like, you know, I feel like I'm living my crown life right now because I'm being the best version of myself. I may not be perfect, but every day I'm striving to be better. Every day I'm striving to be, you know, live a good life for my daughter. Like I understand what I'm living for. And so like just going back to Black is King, like Beyonce understands what she's living for. She got her money. She got her kids. She got her husband. She understands what she's living for. And she also understands the place where a lot of Black people are. And her artistry in that entire movie was amazing. The artistry was amazing. I'm not a Beyonce fan. Don't kill me, people. Do not kill me. I am not a Beyonce fan. But I give respect where respect is due. The woman has done so much. And when it comes to performing, hands down, best performer there is out there, you know? Next to Michael Jackson, you know?
That's how I felt about Homecoming. When I saw Homecoming, I like cried because that's what we lived for 4 years. Like that was our life. That was she embodied it in such a way. And I'm like, so many people don't get that experience, and they don't understand why we love our HBCUs so much, because what we got in 4 years, she gave y'all an appetizer in 2 or 3 hours, however many hours. But it was just like, you have to know, and you said something very important. She knows her why. She knows why she's doing it. And that's the same thing with you. You know your why, and everybody may not understand that.
Exactly. Everybody's not going to understand your why, right? And I'm here to tell you, like, living a crown life for anybody is going to be taking that risk that you think you know, that you're a little hesitant about, and just jumping out there and doing it. And you might fail. Be okay with that. You might just fail, but you might just also succeed. Or you might fall amongst the stars and get into something that you didn't even know that you were really good at. For example, I got into wellness because I was just tired, you know? I didn't think I was going to succeed. I just tried it to really prove somebody wrong that the stuff didn't work. And then when it worked, it was like, dang. And then that turned into a business opportunity, which now is turning into a real legit business. So it's like, I didn't expect my life to go that way, but I took a chance, and the chance is paying off. So it's like,
before you started that though, before you started wellness, backstory, you were working for a hot organization. Like you literally left corporate to do one of the things like that a lot of us couldn't imagine doing because of how our system was structured. Not a bad way. It was just like she left something hella secured to go discover this whole mind.
Yep.
So
and it's crazy because it's like I failed at first. Like it was like, man, I failed, but it's brought me so many great places, you know, like that journey. Like that's what life is. That's all about living a crown life. Like even Beyonce said it in Black is King, it's about the journey, you know? It's all about the journey because you could do so many great and amazing things and meet so many great and wonderful people along the way and touch so many lives throughout that journey, even if it doesn't take you to the destination you have planned in your head.
And I think that's important too, because so many times we have a destination in our head, but God has a completely different outlook. And a lot of times what he wants and what we want is like this.
Yep. It usually is, huh?
Yeah, it's like 2 left feet, just wrong, just all the way wrong. So my last question for you is, and I'm gonna write this at the bottom of the chat too, is like, how can people connect with you if they want to take their journey to wellness to the next step, number one? And then the next step is like if you have a website, let us know that website too.
Yes, I do have a website. It's goherbalife.com/vreese, and I'll forward it to you so that way you can have it. That's my Herbalife website. You could do a wellness eval on there. You can see what kind of products I'm taking. You can order from there. You know, it's pretty fun. And then I usually contact people who go through that site. I'll usually hit you up, send you a text message, and, you know, ask you, like, are you serious or curious? Right? And so another way is they can follow me on Facebook, Valette Reese on Facebook. Tiedra has the correct spelling of my name. And then, I have my Spot On Nutrition Facebook as well. And that's a page I just newly created. I'm trying to open a club, but I want to be universal. So we're opening a club in Killeen, which is where I'm from. Even though I'm living in Dallas, still opening a club in Killeen. You see how that works? And but my goal is to be global. So, you know, I've serviced people in Afghanistan. I've serviced people, you know, I'm located in Texas, in Chicago. I've serviced a lot of people just to help them along their journey and got some really good results. I'll be posting some updated results on my Spot On Nutrition page here coming this week. So that way y'all can see some of those of people I personally help. And then my results are already on there. So, and then I'm working on some new ones. So come join the journey with me. Like, a baby don't stop nothing. It's been 2 years, but who cares? Like, so what? It's been 2 years. You know, now I got the rest of my life to get healthy and feel good. It was just 2 years for a setback for a major comeback, baby. So that's how you can contact me. I'm always available. Everybody has my cell phone number. Most of that stuff comes through my cell phone.
One of our guests gave her cell phone number.
Really?
And I was like, okay, girl, yes. And you know me though, like I don't really give out my cell like that.
Well, if they reach out, like on the site, if they reach out, I do give my cell phone number because I usually reach out through my cell phone and go, hey, you know, just checking out, it's Reese from the website, you know.
Now, if people do that for Kingsskid, I will. If people do that for Kingsskid, I will, like, hey, give me a call. But yeah, you know, I try to keep it as exclusive as possible. But that's just me being extra. That's just me being extra for no reason. And we know that
I don't care. As long as it's not disrespectful, you won't get blocked. And I'll probably check on me anyway.
That's fair. So I'm appreciative of you for coming to talk about your journey into wellness, how we can live a healthy and a crown life, and the ramifications of when we are not, and how that plays a role into future generations. And when we're just trying to wake up, like we don't want to do nothing. So I thank you, because this goes back to that quote that I stated earlier on your bio. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and dropping jewels into our crown.
I'm so excited. I'm glad that you had me. I mean, anything I could do to help the next person like live a healthy active lifestyle, I'm about that life. And even if it's just dropping a little knowledge, you know? And so, you know, do what's best for you, have all the confidence in the world. Nobody else can be you. You know, if I could leave anybody with that thought, and, you know, it doesn't matter what anybody says about you, you are loved. People are grateful to have you in their life. And you just never know who you're impacting just from smiling. So stay smiling.